watching The Web Show with Jabari Walker. Hello and welcome to The Web Show. I'm your host, Jabari Walker. Let's get right into today's topic, schools in the fall. Most students are out for summer break right now, probably spreading coronavirus. Students have been online schooling all over the world. It's like real school, except your parents are the ones that take your lunch money. And while they've been teaching their teachers how to use technology and make a Zoom call, COVID-19 has continued to linger. And sadly, the adults in this country are the ones that have to decide whether little Timmy has a backpack at the top of his supplies list or a laptop. Let's get right into Secretary of Education and your neighborhood pharmacist, Betsy DeVoe, who says schools should open in the fall.
Madam Secretary, I don't think anybody disagrees with that. I mean, I'm a parent. I want my school-age child to go back to school as much as you are saying you want for everybody. But the question is, can it happen safely? So can you, by saying what you just said, also assure parents, students, children, everybody who's there, that they're going to be able to do so safely?
Well, we know that children get the virus at a far lower rate than any other part of the population. And again, there is nothing in the data that would suggest that kids being back in school is dangerous.
Aha, see, that's where she's wrong, because there are more than 300 coronavirus cases among daycares in Texas. In total, there were 950 reported cases. 307 were children, and 643 were staff members. But she is right about children spreading the virus. In fact, a recent UVM study says they rarely do. But the problem is, it's not just about the children's safety, it's about everyone else in the building. It's the staff, the faculty, you got the principal, teachers, janitors, everyone in the building who are more vulnerable and more likely to die from the virus in the building. So it's not just the children's safety you have to keep in mind, it's those taking care of them. And not to mention the surging cases in the United States. Arizona, Texas, Florida has surpassed 300,000 coronavirus cases, and people are dying more than they usually did by the day now. And just because you live in certain areas that may see the virus dying does not mean the virus is going away. Why would there be logic in the Trump administration, right? I mean, let's ask the man himself.
We want to reopen the schools. Everybody wants it. The moms want it, the dads want it, the kids want it.
No, they don't. See, when Trump says this stuff, he really means he wants people to go back, not parents or the moms, the dads. He just means he wants children to go back to school because he wants to be looked at as a president that made something happen, that gave some relief to parents, even though he stresses out people every day, especially me. And you can't see my gray hairs right now. Thank God for this bad camera quality, but he stresses me out a lot. So what Trump really means is he wants them to go back, not parents, all parents in the country. Not every kid wants to go back either. Trump wants people to go back so he can look like the guy who got rid of the virus. And speaking of that, coronavirus case data will now go to the Trump administration instead of the CDC. So instead of the actual people trying to figure out what to do with this virus, how to keep us healthy, telling us the guidelines, you're going to say, fuck them. We're going to make sure the virus doesn't exist in the world of America. While cases are surging by the day in states like Florida, of course, I mean, Florida's screwed, I'm sorry, but at least New York had Cuomo and, people listened to the guidelines. I mean, New York City was the hot spots, and now there are several hot spots within the country. But the thing with Florida is Florida has always been stupid. Just that's Florida man arrested for trying to practice karate and kicking swans in the head. Or how about this one? Florida man arrested for trying to barbecue child molesters. Now, look, I don't think he should have gotten arrested for that one, but that's just me. But my point is, Florida's screwed, but our president is kind of thinking like Florida. Our president's thinking, this virus doesn't exist. It doesn't matter how many cases surge. I want money, and I want the economy rolling. That's what it's all about. They want kids to go back to school because they want parents to work. And if parents work, then they buy stuff. And when people buy stuff, it keeps the economy going. But once people are home with their children, they're not going out much. And the Trump administration knows that. So this is another disregard for human life. And it's all about money with this country. That's the problem. And of course, Trump being Trump, he took to Twitter for the situation. And he tweeted, "Too many universities and school systems are about radical left indoctrination, not education. Therefore, I am telling the Treasury Department to re-examine their tax-exempt status and or funding, which will be taken away if this propaganda or act against public policy continues. Our children must be educated, not indoctrinated." So Trump wants to take away funding from schools just because schools are trying to be safe from a deadly pandemic. That's the Trump logic for you. He also tweeted something else. He tweeted, "In Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and many other countries, schools are open with no problems. The Dems think it will be bad for them politically if U.S. schools open before the November election, but it is important for the children and families. May cut off funding if not open." Okay, but those are countries who had a leader who can actually handle the virus, okay? Their cases are going down, while the U.S. cases are going up tenfold. I mean, look at this. The United States has more than 3 million cases, and the countries Trump mentioned aren't even on the top 10 list for coronavirus cases. So what he wants to do is he wants to bring people back, possibly make them sick, possibly kill people. For what? For what? Just to look better come November? I mean, no one cares about that. No one cares about that. What matters now is people's health and safety. Politics gets in a mix of everything in this country. People need to realize that there's more to life than just politics. There's more to life than just politics. Right now, we have a global pandemic. So there are no Democrats and Republicans in every country in the world. Right now, it's a global pandemic. We have to do our duty to stop it because a virus anywhere is a virus everywhere. And coming up, I'll be talking to my sister, who's going into 10th grade in high school, to see what she thinks about the Trump administration doing what they're trying to do. Hey, Jolana, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So what would you say is the biggest challenge when it came to online schooling?
The biggest challenge was that they definitely handed out more work than they usually did when we were in online school. And also the teachers, they don't really interact with the students or like make sure they know what they're doing or make sure that their students are okay. And they don't really explain how to do the work that they hand out. They just hand it to you, give you a due date, and expect you to know it already.
So what was scheduling like?
It was kind of weird. It was like 30-minute like Zoom classes, but some classes you didn't have to join, and it was just really weird. Like I feel like the scheduling was very unorganized.
Do you think students should go back in the fall?
Uh, if the cases do go down, then yeah. But just in case, everyone should be obligated to wear a mask when they go to school. And if they don't have one, then the school will provide them one.
What do you think about the Trump administration basically saying, you know what, screw your health and safety, everyone should go back?
I feel like that's ignorant because there's still like a lot of cases in a lot of states. And if the cases continue to go up and then just send everybody back to school, it's just going to continue to go more up. And also that's jeopardizing the student and their families. So I feel like it's stupid to have everybody go back. Just the states that have lower cases and are like going down.
Any message to your fellow classmates for the future?
Just eventually, things will get better. Just hang in there.
Well, there you have it, folks. Reopen schools, but do it smart and safe. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of The Web Show. If you would like to be a guest on the next show, I will leave a bunch of contact information in the description below. And if you want to see the next episode, be sure to subscribe. Bye-bye.